talking about relationships and the kind of relationships that you have built, let's talk about Keep the Meter Running, your TikTok series, something that I am obsessed with. I've watched a lot of videos on that series. And what I really like about the series, particularly, is the sense of community, right? Shared human experiences, restaurant recommendations for us New Yorkers, which is incredible. And then some shared wisdom that cab drivers share with you. So, how did this idea come about and how did it take off from there?
So there were a couple of moments in my life where I felt indebted to a taxi driver. And some of them were small moments, like in Morocco or something. This guy's like, "Hey, go to this restaurant. It's where all the locals eat. It's amazing." A small, small little gesture of kindness to bigger kind of interactions where they were more emotional. And I was having an awful day or an awful evening, and the taxi driver acted as not only a friend but also a therapist and a father figure, and like a truth sayer or truth seeker in a more spiritual way. So just having a lot of different positive interactions with taxi drivers. I don't think I've ever had a negative one. Uh, Kind of was the inspiration for the series. There was a specific night where I really was kind of given amazing advice by a cab driver. I was having an awful night and coming home over the Williamsburg Bridge from Manhattan to Brooklyn. And by the time I got to my apartment, the I was like, "Hey man, do you like want to keep driving around and hanging out?" And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to charge you." and I was at that point, I was like, "Well, I can't really pay for that right now, but thank you so much." And I remember walking out of the cab, and at that exact moment, I literally wrote down, "Keep the meter running," and I just put it in my notes. And I have a lot of notes in my notes app. And maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years went by, and I was approached about, by my friend Adam, who asked me if I have any good ideas for a digital web series that I want to create. And that was the first one that came to mind. And immediately he loved it, and we just started making it.
Hmm.